Today, I am wearing a wireless microphone. It is a marvel of technology. It has some pros and some cons. One of the greatest times I really like to use one of these devices is if I am sick. As an English teacher, when you're sick, you need to conserve your voice to get through all of your classes. So you still have a little bit of voice left at the end of the day, a little bit left for tomorrow. That's where one of these comes in really useful. I got this for about $50 US. It's a very simple system, and I did a lot of shopping around before I made my decision. What I have, hopefully this is showing up nicely. It fits over your ears, and it is wire thin. It fits over both ears. It's got a flesh-covered pop filter on it. Very lightweight. But don't let looks fool you. This works remarkably well. This is the transmitter pack on it. One feature I like about this pack is that it has volume control right on it. So if something happens and I need to stop using this, I can just drop my volume down without walking across the room. I have attached a magnet to it right on the back side. That magnet allows me to stow it away very conveniently. Right up above my smart board, there's a long metal arm which holds the projector. I got all kinds of stuff secured up here with magnets. I want to make sure I can put this out of the way where if other teachers need to come in or out of the room, there's not going to be any problems with that. I don't want anybody needing to move my equipment around and getting it lost, etc. This thing has a range of about 50 feet. Not bad. You will notice that there is a bit of an echo. That's one of the cons. Now, I'm going to turn the volume way down. So now it's not picking up my voice anymore and sending my voice through the speakers. You'll notice that my natural voice doesn't echo very much. But when my voice is going through the speakers, it really does. It echoes more. One of the reasons for that is because the way that the speakers are mounted in this room, they're mounted into the ceiling. That means they're facing straight down, and they're going to hit the floor. In this room, we got a hardwood floor, and so it's going to be reverberating between the hard floor and the hard ceiling. From just using this for only a little while, I really prefer to have it on rather than off. I don't have to project as much. I don't stress my vocal cords and my larynx as much. It feels very comfortable. It's almost like addictive. You want this thing on all of the time. Depending on how you have it positioned, it could pick up your breathing. So you want to be careful about that. it can pick up some pops. Perpendicular, 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 perpendicular. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So generally you want to have it just slightly above or below your lips. And then when you do some popping, it's not going to pick that up. It does pick up some of your mouth noises as well. So like if you smack your lips a lot, you know, like maybe you're one of those people that just smacks your lips a lot when you're talking. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's going to get it amplified. However, when you are teaching things like the plural form to your students, this comes in really handy. I have an apple. I have 2 apples. You notice it's picking up a little bit of that air. So let's adjust this a little bit. So I'll get it off to the side of my mouth. Now I'm able to give my students the S sound very clearly. That's a sound that is not easy to project. You can only make it so loud. But with a good system like this, now it's super loud. That's better than I can do on myself, unassisted. This allows me to help my students hear enunciation much more clearer. They're getting clear, clean examples that would otherwise be impossible to pick up on and hear so clearly. So that's one of the great benefits if you are teaching English, is that it picks up consonant sounds very well. Let's take a quick look at the rest of this unit. This is the receiver, and it has a micro connection. So the same kind of connection that you would see on like a Walkman or on your phone. Mini audio connection. And then this right here is, I'll just pull it out and show you. So there's my receiving unit. And this is a Y connector, so I can have 2 inputs going into one input, essentially. So like here it's just 1, but I can have 2 going in, which could be handy depending on your system. Not every system is going to have multiple inputs for you. And this is just a very simple adapter. Let me go from small to big. Testing 1, 2. No, wrong one. And there we go. We're plugged back in again. Nice and convenient. If you're going to be using one of these, you probably want to take your receiver unit, this big box here, and move it a little bit so that if your co-teacher or yourself is using a computer and your knees are going back and forth very aggressively, you're not going to bump this and do any damage to it. in the future, I want to get a extension cord so that I have a soft cord going from here to my receiver unit, and that will allow me to place that unit just about anywhere I want. You know, like I can put it up on the desk, but more importantly, if somebody bumps something, there's much less chance of damage occurring. Now, one of the things I'm going to do in order to keep my receiver unit on my person and allow very convenient placement is I'm going to have this key ring, and this is a tiny little clip. I'm going to put two clips on one key ring, and so one clip will go anywhere on my clothing very securely and out of sight. Like I can clip inside of my shirt, or maybe right at my pocket, and then the other one will just hold the receiver, the other one will just hold this unit, which sends out the signal. I guess that would be the transceiver. For only 300 renminbi invested, this is one of the best investments I've made for classroom technology. I can tell already I'm going to get a lot of use out of this. I'm going to love it anytime that I'm sick. I'm going to love my students getting better examples of my voice because they can hear my consonants coming through nice and clearly. Panda, pandas.